Clay, you're an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. And as they say in Stoic, the obstacle is the way. And so if you let these pinheads get in your way, you're in trouble. Acta non verba is the motto of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy at Kings Point, New York. I had appointments to Naval Academy and Kings Point Merchant Marine Academy. And Merchant Marine Academy's motto was acta non verba. In other words, don't listen to what a person says. Watch what they do. Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learn from you. So congratulations.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown probably 5 times. We've added, I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees. And now we have a little over 300 employees. Before we got involved with Thrive Time, we didn't really have any systems or processes in place. So I've probably been to, in 6-7 years, I've probably been to 12 to 13 business conferences. And amazingly, each time I go, I learn something new, and I'm so excited to bring it back and show the team about marketing and how to implement, how to help you guys implement the SEO. And the coaching is just great because there's accountability, and it's just a fantastic way to grow your company. Having a relationship with Thrive Time it's just been amazing for MultiClean. Oh my goodness, it frees me up because then I don't have to take a class on search engine optimization or learn marketing or shoot video. That's not what we do. What we do is commercial janitorial service. And you guys are the experts on marketing, and you teach me and hold my hand and show me how to do it right. And therefore, now my company is much, much larger.
Folks, on today's show, we're joined by a real client. He may look like a male model. He may look like a hologram, but he's a real person. He's a longtime client. He's a man that we consider to be a friend of the Thrive Time Show and a friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Kevin. Welcome onto the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Clay, I'm doing great. Had a great Christmas holiday, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so first question, can you tell us what is your name, first and last name, and what's the name of your company, sir?
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas and soon to be Arkansas.
And how long have we worked with you approximately at this point, sir?
It's been about 6-7 years.
Welcome back to the Mel K Show. I am always excited when I get somebody to come on that talks about solutions, what we can do to make our own lives better, taking back control of your destiny. And the man I turn to when I need that is Clay Clark. Thank you for joining me, sir. Let's get to it. How are you?
Hey, thank you for letting me be here with you today. And I want to tell everybody, this is a true story. I talked to one of your listeners the other day who I think is going to come join us at our conference in September. Great. And the question that the listener had was, hey, I don't own a business, but I want to. Could you help me? And I know that seems like a vague question, but what I wanted to answer this for anybody out there watching today's show is I told this listener, I said, yes, we can totally help you grow a company. And so if you're watching today's show and you're saying, you know what, I have a business, or I want to have a business, this show is for you, because what I'm going to teach you on today's show, it's very practical. It's not very emotional. It's very linear. It's very technical. And I promise if you implement what I'm teaching you today, it has the capacity to increase your income, potentially double, And I'm going to cite my sources, give you a lot of examples. Also, I want to point out on today's show, the stuff I'm going to teach you on today's show, I once had to pay, and these are real numbers, I had to pay a company, I'm going to pull it up on my screen here, a company called bruceclay.com. I would gladly do it again tomorrow if I had to. bruceclay.com. I spent over $8,000 a month paying bruceclay.com to teach me. This is the guy who wrote Search Engine for Dummies, Search Engine Optimization for Dummies, a great author, a great man. I had to pay this guy $8,000 a month for many years to learn what I'm going to teach you on today's show. I also had to pay a company called SEO Inc. This is a company owned by a guy by the name of Gary Grant. I paid his company thousands upon thousands of dollars a month to learn what I'm going to teach you. I also paid a public relations expert named Michael Levine, who happens to be I'm not encouraging everyone to blindly trust Wikipedia. However, this is the guy who happened to be the PR consultant for Michael Jackson, for Prince, for Nike, for 34 Grammy Award winners. So what I'm telling you today is grounded based upon facts, and we're going to get into it. But Mel, I just think there's somebody out there before we get into today's show that feels like they want to own a business, but they don't even know where to start. And like I told your listener during our one-on-one call, I said, I promise you, if you have a sound mind and you want to grow a successful company, I promise you can do it. And I told him a story about a paramedic who wandered into one of our conferences and now has a multi-million-dollar company in Dallas. And then I told him a story about a recently divorced woman who wandered into our conference from the Northeast and now has a very successful cleaning company. And I told him a story about a man who wandered into our conference and now is a very successful real estate agent in Kansas City. And I shared these stories, and at a certain point, he's like, okay, I'm coming, but I just want to get your thoughts on this. What do you say to somebody out there that doesn't think they qualify potentially to be self-employed?
Well, my big thing is if you're waiting for permission, it's never going to come, and you're never going to achieve anything you want. And I think right now is a time that people have to not just personally, but in general, look at the world through, half full. And there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of change, not just in America, but geopolitically. And it's a time where everyone has an opportunity to redefine themselves, what they want, what their future looks like, and make some real changes. The financial system's obviously shifting around and changing. The political system is being cleaned out. It looks like a lot of the things that held people back in small businesses, regulations, insane levels of paperwork and permits. They're trying to do away with a lot of stuff that have held people back from achieving their dreams and reaching their potential and, making whatever they wanted to do a business that is sufficient to give them the lifestyle that they desire. And I do want to say also, Clay, we were at a couple of days ago at an event. I sat next to a man whose son is in his mid-20s, 26, got sick of college, didn't want to be brainwashed, learned how to paint houses. And he's been painting houses for a few years. It's somewhat lucrative, but I said, does he want to turn it into a business? We're working with this guy, Clay Clark, and he's really great at taking people that have skills and of course, house painting, things like that, landscaping, all of that will still be necessary. Everyone's getting freaked out. Oh, AI is going to take over. There's certain things that they can't take over, and that's one of them. And so I encouraged him to go look and maybe come to the Thrive Time event that we're doing in September, because he could turn his small house painting business into a big house painting business that could sustain. He's about to have a child and all of that. And he said, great. I didn't even know where to go. I didn't know where to turn. So what you're offering is something I think a lot of people could, in their hearts, really get, and would help them so much, and they don't know about it. So let's get into it and what you do and how you can help somebody who has an idea or a skill that's needed out there that will sustain them beyond the fear of the AI takeover, and how they can turn their ideas into profitable businesses that can change their lives.
Well, you mentioned paint, so I pulled up a paint client we work with. This is a painting client we work with called Clean Slate Painting LLC. This guy, we've helped him double his company. And
Wow.
most of my clients are not in Oklahoma, but this guy happens to be in Oklahoma. We've helped him double the size of his business. He continues to grow. So again, just validating what you just said. Now let's look at some specific action steps we want to take here. So step number one, no matter what industry you're in, you're going to have to build a first-class website. Now, if you hire my firm to do it, just to be very clear, if you go to thrivetimeshow.com and you're a business coaching client of mine, we charge you $1,700 a month. And what's included in that is, you do get a weekly coaching session with a coach and a mentor to guide you down the path. You do get access to our in-person workshops every 2 months. You do get access to myself whenever you have questions throughout the week. And you do get access to photography, videography, web, search engine, these kind of things. But I'm going to walk you through what we can do here. So first off, you go to kolawfitness.com. And everybody out there, this is a client of mine who was training people how to lose weight out of his home. True story. Out of his home. Where? Out of his home. Could you imagine turning your living room into a gym? That's what this guy did. Okay. Charles Kolaw and Amber Kolaw. And just to put a little meat on the bone here, these are real people, nice people, normal people. They're there. And they had turned their living room into a gym. And they had determined that's probably not the most sustainable path. They reached out to me. We've scaled it into multiple locations. But on their website and on every website, no matter what company you're in or no matter what industry you're in, you're going to need these 5 action steps in place. These are going to help you convert more leads. So step number 1, I told Charles Kolaw, I'll tell everybody watching today's show, you got to have social proof. And you might say, what is social proof? Social proof is somebody who's not you saying good things about you. So as an example, I often say good things about Catherine Austin Fitz offline. Whether that helps her or hurts her brand, I don't know, but she is somebody who I respect her and I speak highly of the research she does online and offline, Catherine Austin Fitz. And I'm saying perhaps your listeners don't know who that is. Let's just go back to the gym example. If you're a gym owner, you want to have testimonials from real clients that have really worked with you, testifying that they like the experience. People of all different sizes and colors and backgrounds and shapes and ages, because nobody wants to go to a gym and be locked into a contract, to be roped into some agreement. And so you've got to have testimonials. And it's not something that you would do by default if you were not being intentional. You got to have social proof. Someone says, I'm a startup, I don't have social proof. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is get some kind of endorsement from people that know you, something in writing. So we say, well, Clay, could you give me a different example? Okay, so let's go to Make Your Dog Epic. This is a dog training company that I'm involved in, makeyourdogepic.com. So makeyourdogepic.com, we train dogs. So we get video testimonials from real clients that we actually train their dogs. And this list can never be big enough, Mel. We always want to add, we're only as good as our most recent video testimonial. And so if you go to YouTube and you type in Make Your Dog Epic, this is a dog training company, which, by the way, produces more money on a weekly basis than many doctors produce on a weekly basis. This is a dog training company. But you see, we're constantly putting up video testimonials. So where I want to kind of just, this is point number 1. You got to have social proof. If you're a podcast, so the Thrive Time Show, some people like it, some people don't. But our podcast, I've interviewed people who are on the left, people that are on the right, people that are big time, people that are maybe well known, people that are not well known. But I put them on the site. So when you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you can see, wow, you were not born yesterday. And clearly the idea or the topic of interviewing people on your show isn't a new concept. And so I'm always adding social proof. And just the other day, I talked to somebody who's, I don't think politically aligned with me at all in terms of they're not a conservative. They're probably a big government kind of person, but they were blown away that we had interviewed some of the people we've interviewed. And they were just asking me, they're saying, hey, if I come to your workshop, is it a political thing? And I said, what's interesting is that previous to the last couple of years before I met you, Mel, 5 years ago or 4 years ago, I never talked about religion or politics on my show at all.
Right.
We just teach you how to grow a company. And so I'm just telling you, if you're a bakery, you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, it doesn't have to be a political statement. You just have to have somebody who's not you endorsing you. And I want to get your thoughts on this, Mel. When you got into the Hollywood acting career and you began to have a couple good roles or a couple good successes, why did it help having somebody else put a good word in for you with the studio or with the producer or with the director? How much does that help or not help in a Hollywood career? You get a role or get a gig or get a deal?
It helps 1,000%. You know, I talk about my mentor who's still out there. He wrote a great book recently, but he was always saying you have to collect what you're saying right now. You have to collect, you know, evidence that you can not only show up and do the part or complete the assignment on time and at the highest quality. So your reputation is everything. Your what people think of you is your calling card, and the more evidence you put out there that you are, you know, not just talented, able, you can be relied upon, all that stuff. There's all different points that people want to hear when they're hiring somebody. It's all, you know, at the end of the day, it's hiring or buying your project or whatever, but they want to know all the evidence that makes them want to call you or want to bring you in or want to hire you. And it's an evidence-based business, the business of entertainment. It's if you don't have hits and you don't have movies and you never got something made and you never got a job, you're not going to get another job. It's all about building evidence is the key.
Building evidence. And again, folks, we go back to, you might call it social proof. You might call it building evidence. We might call it, hey, I'm trying to make a Hollywood career. We might call it, hey, I'm trying to go to a fitness gym, but you got to do it. Now, I'm giving you examples here. One of my clients, a longtime client, Peak Business Valuation. What does he do? He reached out to me. He said, hey, I'm in Utah. I help small business owners and large business owners to determine the real value of their company. Why? Because a business owner might want to get a mortgage. A business owner might want to sell the company. A business owner might want to sell part of the company. A business owner might want to bring on a partner, whatever. So this guy has done very, very well. He's been a client of ours for years and years and years. And again, he is a business evaluation client. So if you look at his site, he's got so many testimonials. If I were coaching him right now on today's show, I'd say, what can we do better? The more video testimonials you can get, the better. The more video testimonials you can get, the better, because it proves you're real. wintersking.com, longtime client of mine. I've worked with these guys for years. They happen to work with people like Pete Hegseth, people like Donald Trump Jr., people like Joel Osteen. Now, you might say, I don't like these people. Maybe you do like these people. But the reality is a large part of their career at wintersking.com has been representing the who's who in the conservative space. And so this has been a longtime client of mine. We've added evidence that they've done these projects on their website. So again, collect that evidence. We call that social proof. Now, step number 2, you do need video testimonials, which is a little different than social proof. You say, how's that different? Well, this guy, Brian D. Wiggs, he's probably the most reluctant person I know to celebrate his own successes. He's a great builder. He's a masterful home builder. And I'm going, Brian, you've got to put up videos on your site of the houses you've built. And Brian's going, okay, but why? I'm going, because you build artwork, like master houses that are next level. And if I didn't see these houses that you're building, I might not believe the quality that you're putting into these houses. I might not believe the artistic way in which you're building houses today. I might not believe the level of detail that goes into the fixtures and the pool and the landscaping. And I might not believe that you can do these things. So we've got to get that evidence. That's what social proof is. But step number 2 is you got to get video testimonials, which is different. That's where somebody is hopping on a video and talking about how you have helped them with their bit, how you as a business owner have helped them. And I'm just trying to fill the room with ideas today because someone says, well, I'm not a lawyer. I'm a restaurant. Okay, let's go to the restaurants. Papa Gallo's, longtime client of mine in Florida. These people also have to gather video testimonials. And you say, why? Well, because people, Mel, before they go out to eat, before they hire a catering company, they want to know, is this company that I'm going to go get pizza from, are they reputable? Are they good people? Are they dependable? And so no matter, and I just think by default, I know, because I've been doing this for 20 years, I know that by default, Mel, you're not going to do these things. These 5 things we're teaching today will change your life. But by default, nobody is doing these. And there's a movie called Funny People, which I can't endorse the language and I can't endorse a lot of the premises in the movie, but it's Adam Sandler and he's playing the part of a man who's dying from a terminal illness. And he determines that before he dies, he's a stand-up comedian. So the character of the movie is a stand-up comedian played by Adam Sandler, who's at the peak of his career and he's dying. and he decides that he's going to mentor the next generation of comedians so that when he dies, he can leave a legacy. And so he's teaching this comedian he's mentoring. Again, the character Adam Sandler's playing as a stand-up comedian who's dying at the peak of his career. And he's telling this young comedian apprentice of his, he's saying, listen, you got to have a legit email address. And the guy says, well, why? He goes, no, seriously, you have to have a legit email address. By the way, quit saying ABC 123 when you're on the phone with people. It makes you sound dumb. By the way, when you're on the mic talking in front of an audience, don't say this. By the way, here's how you lead a joke. By the way, this is how and he explains all this. And what I like about the movie, and I apologize for the language of the movie, but what I like about the movie is it's Adam Sandler teaching the craft of stand-up comedy to somebody who's learning it. And I never get bored with that idea of mentorship. And Mel, there's somebody out here, they've got a bakery, they've got a dog training business, they've got a pizza business, and they're not doing this. And I think about Beloved Cheesecakes. You know them. They're great people. We've helped them double the size of their business.
Right.
They were not doing these things before I met them, and now they've doubled in size. Why is it that by default, the average wonderful Mel K listener is not doing the idea of gathering testimonials and evidence? Why aren't we doing that by default?
I think fear. I think the idea that you don't want to be too exposed. This stupid idea that you have in your head that once you get past it, it seems so dumb. But again, it goes back to I'd rather stay small. You have to understand, if you're not willing to do this stuff, you'd rather stay small. I have to say that I am becoming, after doing these shows with you, a client. And it's because, Rob's at a certain age that he already had a career. He never thought he would do this. I'm like learning as I go. But there's things that I don't know and that I've kind of winged it all along. And though I'm 6 years in and I'm very happy with my body of work and proud of what we've created, I know that there could be better things. And I'm at a place where I'm at a plateau and I'm saying, what can I do differently? And I'm doing these shows with you. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to sign up with Clay and I'm going to say, here's everything I got. Here's how much money we make. Here's our partners. Here's our website. Here's the show. Analyze this and tell me what I'm not doing. And I'm going to do everything you tell me to do, whether I want to or not, because my default is always, well, I'm doing fine. I think a lot of people also have that mentality. Well, it's good enough. Well, there's no such thing as good enough. We're not in a good enough world. We've all yelled our heads off about the end of meritocracy and about how they're dumbing down our kids and all of that. And it's like, I'm sitting here. I'm not that old yet. I love what I'm doing, but it's just, we're on our own. We haven't really explored some of the things that I've learned working with you. And I said, forget it for the next several months. If Clay says to do it, I'm doing it. And there's going to be, it's all yes. I'm just going to say yes to everything you say because I've seen the tremendous success. But I know that both Rob and I could have done and could do so much more, but something stops us. And that something is us. So I said, we can't listen to us anymore.
And I want to echo this, what you just said, because this is so important. I think what happens is, at least for me, when I look at video testimonials, and I'm just telling you, I look at them and I'm like, geez, I wish I was smiling. I look like I'm bored. Maybe I look distracted. I wish we all look at it like, I wish I was more pale, less pale. Geez, did I go outside that month? Whatever. But these are real people. Yeah. And I think we're so used to being around fakeness that just the idea of doing a testimonial where we're not done up to the next level, that could even be scary. But this, I just want to share, these are two women, both named Stephanie. The one on the right is an orthodontist. The one on the left was a fitness guru who happened to be listening to my podcast while cleaning toilets. True story. Listen to this, folks. Here we go. I know many of you have had a challenging year. Many of you watching this have a successful company. Many of you have a business that is struggled. Maybe you've had a business that you've just, for whatever reason, have never been able to get over the hump. Maybe you've always been just kind of stuck in a rut, and that's become your normal. Maybe you went from the goal you used to have a goal to thrive, and now your goal is just to survive. Well, to build your faith and to build your encouragement that you have the mental capacity and the tenacity needed to succeed, I thought I would get one of our younger success stories on the Thrive Time show so you could talk to an entrepreneur who I don't believe is yet 30 years old, but yet is still achieving massive success. Stephanie, welcome on to the Thrive Time show. How are you?
Good, Clay. Thank you.
So, Stephanie, where's home for you?
I live in rural western Wisconsin, so Sparta, Wisconsin.
And how did you originally hear about the Thrive Time Show business consulting program?
I heard about you guys actually through Entrepreneurs on Fire. You did an interview with JD.
This was a wonderful person. She's very normal. This is her and her grandma. She didn't have anybody to help her make sales calls, so she got her grandma to do it. So here we go. This is.
And, is there room? Because really the goal of her doing this is to get the foot in the door for me to do a walkthrough. And
turns out grandma's a hell of a cold caller. Okay. Now, so her and grandma did it. Okay. This is Stephanie, orthodontist in McKinney, Texas.
Things about dentistry and why it's so great, because you don't have to deal with people dying on you. You don't have to deal with sick people. You get to make people look amazing and beautiful by straightening their teeth, and you leave with happy patients. And, he talked me into it, and I thought, that sounds like a great job. So that's really how I became an orthodontist.
And you're in McKinney, Texas, right? So how long have you been an orthodontist in McKinney, Texas? And this woman has grown her business dramatically. 2 women, both named Stephanie.
Right.
And again, one was born yesterday. You get the idea. So I'm just telling you, these are things that work. But with every business, whether you're a home cleaning service or an orthodontist, and I'm just going to hang some more meat on the bone here. We'll go to Hollywood Smiles. This is going to be a powerful moment for somebody. You got to create a no-brainer.
Yes.
Now, 100% of the people that I have ever met that are entrepreneurs have a little bit of pushback here about the no-brainer, because we all don't want to be inundated with calls. We all don't want to be overwhelmed with, well, I'm telling you, as an extreme example, I always tell people on the Thrive Time Show, I say, look, and I've done this for years, by the way. I say, listen, if you want to request a ticket, just text me on my direct cell phone number. And I have done this for years. And
It's
people go,
crazy.
Clay, how many text messages do you get? And I go, 50 a day, but in a busy day, I might get 400 or whatever. But I've met best-selling authors. I've met pro athletes. I've met soccer moms. I've met professional baseball players. I've met professional football players. I have met janitors. I have met the 2 Stephanies, all of which who text me. And you know why? Because I'm super reachable. And when
Yes,
you're
you
trying
are.
to get to a certain level, you want to be super reachable. Now, when you're trying to create more time freedom, you want to be super less reachable. And so what I have found, for me personally, I just like talking to normal people. It is like a form of sanity for me to talk to a normal person. What's a normal person? Someone who has a job. Somebody who's not just running around talking about conservatism or talking about religious concepts or talking about what a great celebrity they are. Because I've had some success, I find myself constantly surrounded by very wealthy people, which I'm not complaining about. But I like to talk to normal people. Mel, I can't tell you how much it improves my life when somebody texts me at thrivetimeshow.com. They text my cell phone number, 918-851-0102, and I call them and they go, Clay? And I say, Carol? I just talked to a lady yesterday named Susan. Susan, this is a true story, Susan. And this is not a reverse bh-pm.com commercial, but this is a true story. This woman has been a longtime buyer from Beverly Hills Precious Metals. She heard about them through our show many years ago. By the way, if you're out there today and you want to protect your wealth, get over there to bh-pm.com and tell them that Mel K sent you. Get on over there to bh-pm.com and tell them Mel K sent you. Anyway, this lady, I've known her over the years. I've known this lady for years. And she says, Clay, I'm trying to get a hold of these guys, and I want to buy, $25,000 of precious metals, which is routine for this woman. And she said, I sent a text like a couple minutes ago, and I haven't heard back. And I love her, but this is a person who wants to be reached within seconds. And I go, no problem. How are you? She said, I'm doing good. I said, what have you been up to? She's like, oh, this and that. And by the way, the price of gold has doubled. And we had this great conversation. And I said, how are the kids? She said, the kids are great. And she said, I said, when did you text them? She said, I texted them last night and they haven't responded yet. And I go, when did you text? She's like, well, it was like 2 a.m. I go, well, they do sleep over there, right? She's like, well, I just sent them a text 5 minutes ago. And I go, well, let me get on. Anyway, I'm just saying just the real conversations. We had another person here today that called me to say, Clay, I filled out the form on your website and I haven't heard back from your team yet. I like those conversations. And I find that if you are a business owner, I have a haircut chain, and you make it hard to find your phone number, hard to find the contact form,
Yeah.
hard to get a hold of you because there's this industrial complex of the blah.
Yeah.
So you got to make it where you go to Elephant in the Room. That's my haircut chain, eitrlounge.com. It's a men's barbershop. Look at this. It says, contact us, first haircut, start here, book online, text to book. It's really hard, I mean, to not find how to get a hold of us. Thrive Time Show, my phone number's at the top, phone number's at the bottom. Because Mel, there are some really great people, famous, not famous, successful, not successful. Everybody's worthy of being able to be connected to. Now, I know some industries like yours, you do deep work, so it's kind of hard to be 24/7 accessible when you're writing scripts or when you're doing a show, but there has to be an increased level of reachability. Another example, I'm just trying to give a lot of examples. When I was working with Smiles Hollywood, the phone number was not easy to find. This is the orthodontist in McKinney, Texas. You got to have that phone number easy to find.
Definitely.
Oxyfresh.com, the carpet cleaning brand I work with, we had to make that number easy to find here, everywhere. And you got to have a no-brainer. And the deal, it's got to be so hot that people can't resist it. So if you live in Tulsa, my longtime partner, look at the deal we have. It's $99 for your first pair of glasses and your first exam with a top quality optometrist. That deal is hot. Mel, Co-Law Fitness, his deal is if you sign up for Co-Law Fitness, it's $7 a month to try out his program. You got to have a no-brainer. Mel, there's people out there, though, because we're watching too many Gucci commercials. We're watching too many Lamborghini commercials. We've made it hard to get a hold of us. We're watching too many Reddit, AI, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, automation videos, and people are making it hard to reach them. Why, Mel, has it become so hard to reach people despite all the different forms of communication we now have?
Well, I think a lot of people are right now in a state of inability to think or act in their own interest much of the time. It's just so much chaos. You have to cut through the chaos. You got to shut off the noise. You got to go out into nature. You got to think about what you need to do, and you got to take action. The whole problem is, particularly, with people that we've been working with, there's a lot of people talk a lot, not a lot of people take a lot of action. And what you're saying is, it is every one of these websites that you build, it's very based on, they're action oriented. They're not, check us out on our website, look at all our gallery, this and that. No, it's like, okay, take action, call us here. Our number's here. We got this option. You can sign up here for this. So I think that it's really about people not wanting to take action. But when you put it in front of them, like you said, like you just showed on the 4 websites that you created or helped to create, it does make a big difference to have something that's a no-brainer, or of course I'd get that bargain. That's a great deal. $99 for glasses and an exam from a real doctor. Yeah, why wouldn't I do that? So I think the $7, these are things like when you say no-brainer, I think that's a perfect way, but sometimes you have to coax people into action without them even knowing you are.
I'm gonna brag on Pastor Jackson Lawmeyer, and I'm gonna do it in a way that's 100% sincere. But then I want to brag on another ministry that I can't share their story because I'm not at liberty to. But Jackson is a client, so I can share it. This particular Pastor Jackson Lawmeyer, is a client of mine. He meets every single first-time visitor. And I know that seems like, oh, wow, that's amazing. No, but I mean, but throughout the sarcasm for a second and the cynicism, he says, hey, if you're new to church here today, I would like to meet you. Now, people have come to see Tim Tebow or Jonathan Cahn or to hear the gospel, and they're going, what? He says, I would like to meet you. So if you're new, after church, we have this beautiful room where I would like to meet you. My wife and I, we just want to say hi to you. We want to shake your hand and just see how you're doing. And people are like, really? And so despite the fact he has a big church with an overflowing parking lot, he gets off of the high horse or whatever that is, the celebrity velvet rope pedestal that people put pastors on. And again, his parking lot's normally packed here, but this is his place. And he meets everybody. And then this is what's even crazier. He takes all first-time guests out to dinner once a month. So if you're a first-time guest, he takes 50 of you all at one time out to some dinner.
So nice.
And it works. Yeah. It creates a community. Another example, I can't mention this particular ministry's name. This pastor calls every single first-time visitor himself and thanks them for attending, asks them how their life is going, and says, what has you out looking for a church? And they tell him, And then he says, well, you know what? 2 things I want you to know. I really appreciate you coming. And I also don't want to be the pastor who's constantly browbeating you for recurring donations and that kind of thing, but it does cost money to do the church. So if you feel so led, I'm going to text you a link to our donation page, and any donation at all, I appreciate it. If not, no worries, but I just want to thank you. Boom, boom, boom. Well, this particular pastor, a true story, this is a small town pastor. I just talked to him the other day. He's now up to almost $10,000 a month of recurring giving. The average donation is $37. $37. How did he do it? Did he have a secretary? No. Small town church. He just calls every single person and thanks them for coming to the church. And one by one over the past year, he called me up there today. He said, Clay, I've been to multiple year workshops and I've been diligently doing it. And I want you to know, my wife and I, we finally got to a place to where our church is not losing money. So I don't have to take all of the income from my full-time job to offset the losses. It now is a viable thing. It's a thriving community. And it would not have happened if I would have not just started calling people without even knowing really where he's going, other than I'm going to call everybody who fills out the form, thank them for coming, and tell them how much I appreciate them, learn something from them, and ask them if we can plan on seeing them next Sunday. So again, I'm trying to get everybody to take some action today. I'm trying to get us from this sleepy, oh, wow, I'm overeducated, I've learned a lot, into the action phase, turning our dreams into reality. Final 2 calls to action here related to growing a business and improving a website. You have to have a call to action on the website. Yeah. It has to be super duper clear. It can't be like, oh, I wonder what I'm supposed to do. So let me just pick on myself for a second. If you go to thrivetimeshow.com, I'm not exaggerating, at least once every day, someone on the phone I talk to, they go, hey, when is the workshop? And I think to myself, well, maybe they're on the mobile version, maybe. And I think I have it on there. I go, are you on the website? And they go, yeah, I'm on there. And I learned something. So someone says, oh, the countdown clock isn't working, or, oh, I couldn't see it on my Samsung device, or, oh, the Apple, I couldn't see it, or oh, I didn't know if that was in Tulsa or if the workshop was in California. I didn't know. Or they'll say, well, how do I request tickets? So even though I have a request tickets button right there, I'll be making that red soon based upon feedback that I had just today, because this button and this button, but I keep getting people saying I can't find the request tickets button. And so I'm on the phone with this wonderful guy. He's a sane person, early 30s. He's a mortgage guy in Florida. And he's like, I can't find it. And I'm going, you can't find where to request tickets? He's like, no, I can't. And I go, where are you looking at? And he's screenshotting me. And I don't think he's ever talked to somebody who's as an aggressive learner as you and I are, Mel. So I'm on the phone, all pride aside. I'm going, show me what you see. And I'm going, this homeboy can't find where to request tickets. I need to fix that thing. So anyway, I'm just telling you, you got to have a call to action that is an obvious no-brainer, but it can always be better. And then the final pro tip, first-class branding. Your website can't feel like you just hired the first person you met to build it. It can't look amateur. So I want to brag for just a second. And these are people that are, again, some people agree with the message, some people don't, but Amanda Grace has really worked hard at trying to improve the branding of her website. And I want to brag on her thumbnails for a second, because Amanda was really willing to say, you know what, let's make our thumbnails great. So Amanda Grace, some of you guys are into what she does. Some of you are not, but let me find it. A lot of people create fake Amanda Grace accounts. Right, I know. So let me find it. It's Arc of Grace on Rumble. I'm finding it. Okay. And if you click here on her live, look at the thumbnails. And so we've had to go back and on archived podcasts and make the thumbnails better and better and better and better and better. And they started out from a place of, like this, and now they're becoming like this. Yeah. Yeah. And so everybody out there, myself included, I don't care. I've been doing business conferences for 20 years. And yet today I'm on the phone with a guy and he cannot find the request to ticket button. And I don't view it as a character flaw on his part or a mental deficiency. I'm going, how big should I make it, sir? And he goes, oh, you got to make it red and big for me, man, because I'm on my phone. I'm not seeing that. So again, Mel, I'm trying to help everybody out there have a good call to action today. So here's the 5 action steps we need to take. 1, add social proof to your website. 2, get testimonials. 3, have a no-brainer. 4, have a solid call to action. 5, have first-class branding. Ask yourself today, if you're watching today's show, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, how highly would you rank your website? If 10 means your website generates leads every day, and 1 means your website never generates leads, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to rank your website right now. How effective is it, your website, at generating leads, opportunities, revenues for you? And if you need a checkup from the neck up, if you want to take your career to the next level, come join Mel K, Eric Trump, myself, Alina Haba, Dr. Stella E. Manuel, Pastor Dave Scarlett, and many others in person, September 25, 26. Someone says, when is it? September 25, 26 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You can get your tickets. It's a 2-day workshop from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And yes, I will have a large red button prominent by the time people hear this show. But I encourage everybody, go to thrivetimeshow.com to request those tickets. We have in-person workshops. We also have one-on-one coaching. It's $1,700 a month. And we have scholarships to make it affordable for anybody. Yes. And if you use promo code MELK, promo code MELK, folks, you have a chance to win a backstage pass to attend one of our events. You could meet Eric Trump. You could meet Alina Haba. You could meet Mel K. So use promo code MELK when requesting those tickets. And final call to action. So call to action number 1. Call to action number 1. Go to thrivetimeshow.com, request those tickets. Call to action number 2. Go over here to rumble.com and do a search for the Mel K Show. Mel K Show. Mel K Show. And once you find the Mel K Show, here we go. Find the Mel K Show. I want you to go over there and click subscribe. And I know someone has carpal tunnel. Click subscribe. I know somebody's driving a car right now. Click subscribe. I know somebody's very busy right now. Click subscribe. I know someone says, I think I might have already done it. Go check again and click subscribe. I know someone says, I know I already did it. Then take your husband's phone and click subscribe. Someone says, my husband's already done it. Then find your kid's phone and click subscribe. Join the Mel K tribe. Click subscribe. Do it right now. Go to the Mel K Show on rumble.com. Do it. Subscribe, share it in the air everywhere. And Mel, that's all I have for you today.
Well, I love it. And I'm very excited because after our series of shows about making your business better, building your business, taking life by the horns and deciding which way it's going to go for yourself, I am becoming a client and I cannot wait. I get more excited every time. And I hope people come meet us at the September conference. I love those conferences. It is the best networking. It is so much fun. Everyone's really great. And I'm just very grateful to be part of your community and looking forward to all the things that you're going to tell me and Rob to do that we don't want to do, but we're going to do, because the answer is going to be yes, because I've seen the success that you have brought to so many people on so many levels, and I know it can help us too. So thank you so much for being here and sharing that. Anyone that wants to go to Thrive Time right now, click on the 13-point assessment. We did it last week, and I realized, this is what I need, and that's what I need. And I've been thinking not stop. It's good enough to get your brain going. And thank you so much, Clay. I will see you soon. And everyone, really, it's time for you to look at the world half full and decide what the rest of it looks like for you, because you can make big changes. And Clay is one person who can definitely help you.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
4,000% from February to February. Now I can better that. Okay, Clay, I don't think you know this. I don't think you know this. I'm pinching myself, and if I cry, forgive me. In the last 2.5 days, we have bettered our entire month of February in the last 2.5 days. So, and the phone's blowing up. Everything's just blowing up. You're right. It is like a rocket ship. So we're pinching ourselves, actually.
I learned at the Academy, Kings Point in New York, acta non verba. Watch what a person does, not what they say.
But I recognized at the age of 15, I'm going, you know what? I am not going to live that way. And so I started a company out of my parents' basement called DJconnection.com. And I decided I am going to have success. And so I reached out to millionaires and people that I kind of knew through church and friendships and people that parents of my friends. And I said, what book would you recommend that I read? I'm a 15-year-old asking this question. True story. And I kept being told, you got to read.
Hello. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Radio Show. It's an exciting time Also, I think a treacherous time, a spooky time also. But it's always, danger is a good time. Today, my guest is Clay Clark, and I went out with Tom Wheelwright to visit Clay with Eric Trump also. And the reason I want to talk to Clay this morning is a very important subject called study. And the reason I say that is things are changing so fast, and many people are completely missing the show. Things are changing at rapid speed. Technology is changing. And so I went to Tulsa, again, with Tom Wheelwright and Eric Trump. And the thing I was so impressed about Clay is this word called study. I don't know, you guys must be in your water or something, Clay, but boy, I was so impressed how big you guys are. But what really impressed me was you have this huge congregation. They're all about guys your age. They're on fire. And you start your classes at 5 a.m. Now, let me talk to you about study here. We show our books here. Now, this is how I study. This is the creature from Jekyll Island. It's on the Fed. And Clay's doing the same thing. We study. So I go out to Clay's place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's built this huge compound out there. And you guys start at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's not by Zoom. They drive there. They show up 5 o'clock, bright-haired, bushy-tailed, and all this. And they're on fire. Your group is on fire. So that's what was on Clay, this technology. You tell your group I was so impressed. Because, like I said, studies became a bad word. I got into fights in my own company because our staff didn't want to study anymore. And I don't know how they cannot do that. So Clay, anyway, welcome to the Rich Dad Radio Show. That's what I want to talk to you about is how do you do it? 5 o'clock in the morning, you have hundreds of people showing up in your huge auditorium on your property to study. Anyway, welcome to the show, Clay. And what turns you on so much? That's what I want to know. Give us a little about your background.
My name is Karime Schofield, and the name of our company is Whistle While You Clean.
I am Sophia Schofield.
We live in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we service the tri-state, so Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana.
We were getting a phone call, and we were like, why is someone calling our business line? That's unusual, and we picked it up, and it was a lead.
I mean, it's been incredible, Clay. We've gone from 0 to 100% growth. We're like a full functioning company. It's great. We're blown away at how well we're doing. So working with you guys have really taught us a lot about generating leads and pursuing our Dream 100. So we have a list of customers that we want to market to. And so we've been making phone calls, we've been showing up in person. We're trying to get near the businesses that they would visit if they were visiting like a hair salon or something. And then we start calling them and we just start pursuing them. And then the other thing that we do is when we do cleans, we take a lot of video testimonials and we post those to our website so other customers can see. And then we also upload a lot of images of the things that we do. And so we're also asking our clients for Google reviews after we've cleaned their houses. And so it's this constant cycle of doing those things over and over and over again. I would say if you're on the fence, go to one of Clay's conferences. They are hilarious. They're fun. They're educational. They're so good that even my teenagers like them. And I would say don't let fear hold you back. If you want to start a business, do the obvious thing and hire someone who knows how to run businesses. If I wanted to get in shape, I'd hire a gym person, a personal trainer. This is like the personal training for business. It has been absolutely amazing. I mean, our coach is encouraging. When he first met with us, he said, do we want him to be like a drill sergeant with us? What level of intensity do we want him to give us? And I will say he is incredibly encouraging all the time. And he just hits the same mark with us every single time. It's very repetitive, but I think we both really learn a lot every time we sit down and have a conversation with him over the phone. He keeps pushing us to go further, and he can recognize when we're afraid to do something, and he'll give us a little bit of grace, but that next week he's drilling us again, like pushing us to go harder. Our no-brainer offer is we are offering your first clean for $1. And that sounds absolutely insane. It even sounded insane when I was talking over it with our business coach. And I will tell you that that has generated some of our hugest clients. I mean, that has been like a game changer because it opened up the door to more clients, more recommendations, more leads. And we were surprised how far that dollar clean got us.
How important has it been for you to work out that scripting, even though you offer $1 for the first clean? How important has it been for you to nail that down?
It's been really important because it kind of it hones in so that you're not just all over the place when you're trying to explain what it is that you do. And a lot of times it's like you're a good person offering a good product and you have integrity and you want to communicate that. But when you go to communicate without a script or without practice, it's just like a mess coming out of your mouth, as opposed to having this, honed in practice where you know what you're going to say, you know how you're going to say it, and you can almost expect better results when you do it that way.
Had you ever been an entrepreneur before starting this particular business?
No, never.
Did you ever think about wanting to own your own business someday? Or when was the first time you thought, maybe I would like to open my own business?
Absolutely. I've probably been dreaming about it for about 10 years.
Okay, and let me go to your daughter here. Had you ever thought about wanting to team up and open your own business, or was that something that you were maybe excited about, or not so much?
Well, for me, my parents would always listen to your podcast and business podcast. And as I started listening to them, I started realizing that I wanted to own a business.
It's www.whistlewhileyouclean.com. Honestly, the hardest thing was getting over the fear. It was the fear of the unknown. There was like a cloud of doubt that, you can't do this, you're gonna fail. There was a few sleepless nights there when we did pull the trigger and join your team and start the coaching process. Even my husband put a little bit of pressure on me from time to time because it was just absolutely scary to take that jump and actually start a business.
Whoa.